Hello, and welcome back. So, the last time we left off, we'd only just made it to Aquila, and kind of got a little lost in the city. It's a little confusing layout, if I'm gonna be honest. I didn't really know where I was going, and I was having a really hard time finding actual named quest NPCs. A lot of that really came down to the fact that everyone just kind of looks uniquely terrible. Like, at least in at least in New Atlantis, you could kind of pick out the quest people from the people that didn't belong, because they looked ever so slightly out of place, like a little bit more defined. They were wearing, like, maybe a slightly different outfit, but here, in Aquila City, everyone looks dirty and gross, even the quest givers, and it's extremely hard to tell who I'm actually supposed to be talking to, because everyone looks terrible. It really is like a trick question, almost. It's like, oh, is there a quest over here? You'd think that, you know, a dead-end corner. But to be honest with you, I don't know where the hell I am. And then you got just random, like, just residents? Like, what do they do?
We got to pay Rasha anything?
No, as long as you clean up after
Is this a
yourself,
shooting
don't worry.
range?
That's awfully kind of her.
Mrs. Lance is Aquila through and through. Nice grouping on that last one.
Well, that's all stealing.
Yeah, the site was off and to the left. I dialed it in.
Are you training for some sort of weightlifting competition?
You know it.
Oh, you got jokes too, huh, buddy? Fuck yourself.
Evening, sir.
Yeah, all the weapons cases is considered stealing. Alright, well, fair enough. That is actually pretty neat that there is a shooting range, though. That's kind of cool. I will say, I do like how, like, well realized the city is. Like, these walls, the ramparts actually go and go and go forever. In a way that they should, right? It should encompass the whole city, and it should be accessible, unlike, Solitude in Skyrim, for instance, is a really bad example of, you can access some of the ramparts, but not the ones actually by the front gate. No, those are, you can't touch those, you know what I mean? It's like, well, why? If I recall, it might actually be one of the few instances of an inaccessible door in Skyrim. I can't quite remember. Either that or it just leads to a brick wall, and it's like, oh, well, a door should be here. That's something ESO does a lot to address locations that there logically should be a way to get into, but you can't, is that there's a giant padlock on the door, and it prevents you from getting in. And it's like, alright, yeah, that's a little cartoonish and stupid, but I get the idea, right? You can't go up there. And that's basically just a means to, especially in later entries, specifically in ESO, a lot of the cities are instanced. Kind of like how Skyrim's cities are.
Chunks is such an eyesore in Aquila. But, well, I can go for some chunks.
Alright. But people really like chunks here, huh? I can just take that? Don't mind if I do, I guess. It's interesting how these places have med packs and whatnot just everywhere.
Welcome to Chunks.
Welcome to Chunks.
Please choose your chunks.
Please choose your chunks. I love that. Is that the same fucking kid? That'd be pretty funny. Alright, well now that it's daytime, I can kind of see things a little bit better. Are you a real person? No. Are you a real person? No. I guess that is kind of the beauty of it, though, huh? Like, I am constantly looking at every person to check and see if they're real people. As in, like, a quest giver. And I don't know if that's the intended goal. You know, like, am I supposed to be...
settled systems.
Am I supposed to be stopping and checking everybody? Because it is kind of annoying, I will say. Like, these guys are literally just customers.
You an independent hauler? I can promise you the best rate in town.
They're not rocks. The minerals is a
That
difference.
trade authority's been hounding my regular customers, trying to get them to persuade me to sell.
You've got a big forehead. How's business going for you?
Lousy. To put it bluntly, the trade authority is muscling in on my business. So far, I've kept them at bay, but they've been stepping up their game lately. They got all their tricks. Intimidation, extortion, bribery, blackmail. Nothing's off the table. Of course, everyone turns a blind eye as long as the Council of Governors finds their services useful. So, I'm on my own. But that's my problem.
Is that what it is?
Not yours.
I don't really need to pick up
You take care
minerals,
now.
but... Nice talking to you. So that's one of the things I was, like, wondering, right? So, this game establishes all of these, problems,
You meet all
right?
sorts in Aquila City.
Like, oh, the Crimson Fleet, or, oh, the Eclectic Mercenaries, or, the House Varoon. And it's like, the fuck do any of those, like, why are they still around? Why haven't you, United Colonies, or you, Freestar Collective, done anything to stop these people? You know what I mean? Like, what's preventing you from doing that? And the answer is literally fucking nothing. You can stop them. But, oh, we don't
The
want
answer to the
another
question,
war. We don't
if your
want
friend
losses
jumps off
on
a
our
cliff,
hands.
would you? No. No, sir, I wouldn't.
It's like, why? I don't know. And the reason is, oh, we don't want losses, we don't want this, we don't want... So you're just gonna let the problem persist?
I talked with Miss Kassler, and she'll give a full guided tour.
I mean, no offense, but isn't it a bit small? And there's not as many attractions as I'd like.
Miss Kassler built this whole thing off donations and what she could throw together. It's not like Aquila's swimming in museums here.
Fine. But I want your class to write an essay about what they learned.
I was
Oh.
planning on that, ma'am. I don't think all the students will fit in all at once. I'll have to put them in groups.
The museum is... quaint.
Quaint,
I mean,
yeah.
it's clear a lot of love was put into it.
Well, let's go in. I think we do need to go in here and talk to
is a piece
someone
of
for a
Aquila
branch.
City's history. Oh, are you a friend of Sam Coe? I do so hope you both appreciate the museum. It's about his family, after all.
How's the museum going?
Very well. People are proud of their history here, so we get more visitors than I was expecting. So it gets pretty busy here, especially with school field trips.
I'd like to learn about Aquila City's history.
Aquila City was founded over 150 years ago by Solomon Coe, a scientist and explorer from Earth. Along with other settlers, Coe built the structures you see in the part of the city we call the core. Those proud buildings still stand today. The planet was dangerous, so they built a wall around their settlement. Eventually, they ran out of space and started building outside the wall.
Tell me what happened after that.
There were so many buildings that they had to build another, larger wall, forming a second outer ring around the growing city. Of course, the city didn't stop growing, and before long, the third wall, the outer wall, was constructed. Today, Aquila City is the proud capital of the Freestar Collective, and the Council of Governors continues to meet here when they need to.
And tell me about Solomon.
Most people know Solomon Coe as the founder of Aquila City and the father of the Freestar Collective. He was an astrophysicist who lived on Earth in a place called Wyoming. Solomon was born around the time people first started living in space. Later in life, he designed starships, and when Earth was in peril, those ships helped to save humanity by taking them to new homes in the stars.
I find the stories of the early pioneers fascinating.
The bravery and heroism it took to save humanity. Whew, goosebumps. During the Great Exodus, Solomon came to this world. He named our star Cheyenne, which was also a place on Earth, and gave Aquila its name too. He and some others built the settlement that would go on to become Aquila City, and his descendants still live here today.
I travel a lot. I can keep my eyes open for anything in your museum.
There are some things I would kill to have. I mean, wait, not literally. But I would pay a lot for. You see, the Coe family lost a treasure trove of old historic documents ages ago. And those documents would be priceless to have here.
Huh. Those old things.
What sort of documents are you looking for?
Well, all of them were owned by our city's founder, Solomon Coe. He's more than that, really. He's one of the greatest heroes of the settled systems. These documents would be, like I said, priceless to the museum and to our guests.
Oh, I can see why you'd want them in your museum.
Their absence pains me. Jacob Coe and I have talked at length, and his great-grandfather was a troubled man. He sold off various historic documents to cover debts. They could be anywhere.
Troubled is a charitable way of putting it. Great-grandpa was a walking disaster. He almost lost everything, family estate included. Those documents she's talking about, they're real. We even have a few that survived.
Your father donated what was left to the museum.
Jacob did what? I didn't think charity was in his vocabulary.
If you find any of that trove of documents, I will pay dearly for it.
I'll keep my eyes open for them.
Thank you. Think of the future generations that could benefit from seeing such important history.
I'd like to talk to you about a tree branch.
That is not something I expected to hear today. I assume you're somehow associated with the United Colonies? I've received some odd messages of late.
What sort of messages have you received?
Several that bordered on being incomprehensible. Honestly, I thought it was some kind of strange prank until now. A bunch of gibberish about dire consequences and frequency modulation and genetic reconstruction. It all came across as rather unhinged.
Hey, I get it, but we have to collectively let go of this feud with the UC. And besides, this is really just about a tree and someone who is really, really attached to it.
Are you defending the UC?
I must say, I expected more from a Coe. Well, I'm afraid you've wasted your time because I'm not authorized nor particularly inclined to release any of our pieces. That includes 100-year-old tree branches. Sorry, but it's staying in storage.
You're gonna make this difficult for me then, huh? Okay. We can do that.
Welcome to the Coe Heritage Museum. I offer a brief tour, and I'm happy to discuss the city's history as well.
I really need that branch.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm afraid it's out of the question.
That branch is a vital piece of important xenobotanical work.
I guess I don't want to impede anything important.
I'll wear you down eventually. If I don't get that branch, things could be disastrous for the people of New Atlantis.
I'm no fan of the UC, but I still don't want anyone to get hurt. I can't believe I'm doing this. Please return it in one piece.
I'll do what I can. Alright, so what do we got here, huh? Space sponge. Some garbage. Oh, this is quaint. Double bone horn. I love how I can just steal that. A sextant? I can steal that too. I can steal all of this stuff. And whatever this was right here. Or I'm assuming a lot of this stuff is what will be, right? Like there's more things that'll get added over time. That's pretty cool. Mercury camera, holy shit. All of this stuff is ancient old Earth equipment. Like even the wet floor sign in the bathroom. That's pretty neat.
Alright, let's get back to that bank vault. Certainly. Bye.
I was hoping I could ask him about the museum. See, this is what I am talking about, right? Like, contextual location conversations. Modders have done this in Skyrim. You know what I mean? Kaiden, the Kaiden mod, that's a really good example of contextual location conversation. Taken to Solitude, he says, oh, I remember playing around here once, blah, 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 blah. Benjamin Dune, an extremely good example, if almost too specific, of contextual location conversation, where you need to take Ben to very specific locations in order to trigger new phases of his quest, because that procs new dialogue. And it's like, you'd think taking Sam fucking Coe to the Coe Heritage Museum would trigger some sort of conversation with him about, hey, what do you think about this place? Like, I would like to know what his opinion of it is. And I know there's, like, you know, we've had instances of Sarah saying things when we get close. Sam has also done the same. But you'd think, like, we went in and out of the fucking museum, you'd think he would have said something, like, oh, this place, oof. You know what I mean? But no, nothing. So, like, the fuck, man? Oh, there's an enhanced store here as well? Enhance. But, like, come on. You'd think after, what, it's been 11 years since Skyrim? 12 years? You'd think they would have made some advancement. I guess we should be considering Fallout 4 as well, because they also kind of didn't do this. So that was what? Fallout 4 was 2016? 2015? 2015, right? I don't fucking remember. Still, it's been a sizable chunk of time, and if fucking Skyrim modders could have figured that out, like, come on, man. They should know what they're doing.
Hopefully
by
another
this
eager
point.
customer. Time to make you pop.
Excuse me? What services do you provide,
A new
man?
face. Hopefully going to be newer soon. Welcome to Enhance, where if you can imagine it, I can make your dreams come true. So pull up a chair and let's give you a makeover.
You get a lot of business?
I get some, but not like I would on Neon or I guess even New Atlantis. Mainly folk wanting a new hairstyle, or keep that hair on their head at all, if you know what I mean. But sometimes people want to really go for it, and those are just the best.
Is Enhance safe?
These days, please, save